The shotgun got length, can't you tell by the way that I step? 3 YD that shanks in chest. Just caught me a up who's next, just caught me a...
Now, drill rappers are known for talking the most heinous and dangerous type of stuff in their music, portraying themselves as super trappers, super villains, and super murderers. It goes with the territory. But at the end of the day, it's music, whether we like it or not. And at this point, young people are aiming to provide a better life for themselves with music. But at the same time, and part of that territory is always a code, and that is, do not snitch, do not talk on people, and always remain silent whenever there's a case or investigation. However, drill rapper YS from 9th Street must have not got the memo, because he used his own brother in order to try and get out of a sticky situation. He used the fact that he has an identical twin to deflect the blame onto his brother after a young man was stabbed to death before setting out for his night shift at the railway station where he worked. The 24-year-old young father was attacked by a group of men of maybe 4 people, one including drill rapper YS. Again, 24-year-old Asante Campbell was a new father. He had a fiancee. He was doing all the right things by providing for his young family, by having and holding and maintaining a legal job. To make matters worse, his death was not subject to a fight. He could not have seen it coming for that matter. 24-year-old Campbell was stabbed through a car window as he waited to meet his work friend who was planning to set off on the night shift. So let me just set the scene. Campbell's sitting in his car, windows down. He is minding his own business, when suddenly 3 people surround the car and produce a bladed weapon and start swinging and making a juking motion through the car window. The attack was deliberate and cowardly. It had to have been a case where the defendants wanted the victim dead. In such a small space like a car, you have absolutely nowhere to run or hide or go. Once you're stabbed the first time, you cannot escape. The cold and cruel attack, while stabbing, well, let's just call it what it is, murder. The murder took place at an estate in Hendon, North London, on the 29th of February. During the court proceedings, drill rapper YB also named as 18-year-old Javel Hall, 19-year-old Kofi Abusa, and 20-year-old Hafid Omar were all told they would be going down for murder. But in the most audacious attempt to confuse the judge and the jury, rapper YB claimed that the DNA evidence that connected him to the stabbing and murder did not belong to him. What he actually told the judge was the DNA that was found on the sheath of the knife used to kill the young father, Campbell, was not his, and that it must have belonged to his twin brother, as he did not touch the knife. Prosecutor Oliver Glasgow QC had asked, "Can you think of any reasons your DNA or your brother's DNA is on this sheath?" The defendant replied, "It's not my DNA. I never touched that knife. If it's not mine, it must be his." But a jury found Hall from Hayes and Abusa of Edgware guilty of murder. The pair were remanded in custody to be sentenced on the 23rd of April. The jury failed to reach a verdict in relation to Omar from Mill Hill, who denies murder. And the jury was also told on the night of the murder, 24-year-old Asante Campbell had kissed his fiancée and his baby daughter goodnight. That's the last ever image he will ever have of his daughter and his fiancée, and vice versa. Now, there are no winners in this type of situation. 2 young people have ruined their lives because they committed murder. Another young man, Hafid Omar, will always be attached to the crime, and he will have to live with the stigma of whether he is guilty or not, or even a possible case of retaliation. And then there's the victim who tried to provide for his small family. A mother and father will have to mourn for their son, and a little girl will grow up with no memory of her dad, all because someone took that privilege away over BS. The situation is just crap across the board. All I can say is stay safe.